G'day there guys, it's your main man Markee, and welcome back to another episode of r/Am I the Arsehole. If you like today's bloody good content, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the barbie, and get ready for it. Let's go. Am I the arsehole for not cleaning up my daughter's poop? I, 29 female, have always had a tough time dealing with anything that seems gross. When I was a kid, I had a dog that crapped in the house on very rare occasions, and I would literally gag and almost vomit when cleaning it up. Anything that gives off a strong putrid smell makes my eyes water and throws me into a retching fit. I love kids and do really well with them, but because of my aversion to bad smells and knowing that gross scenarios are common, especially among young children, I had resigned to the idea of probably not ever having any of my own. My husband, 31 male, and I, married 2 years ago. I have always been upfront with him about my stance on having children, and we talked about it plenty of times before getting married. My husband is very much a family man, and he assured me that if we did have kids, he would have no issue being the one to deal with poopy diapers and things of that nature. After thinking about his offer, I agreed. Now, let me just say, I absolutely love my daughter to pieces. She brings so much joy into my life, and she makes me smile and laugh every single day. I change all of the pee diapers. I can handle spit up, and I do all of her laundry and bottle cleaning. The one thing I will not do is change her poopy diapers, as per my agreement with my husband. The other night she had a huge explosion around 2 a.m. I heard her crying on the baby monitor, and when I went to check on her, it had gone all the way up her back and into her hair. The mattress cover and the mattress itself were also spoiled. I immediately started getting dizzy, and my eyes began to burn, so I ran and got to my husband. After he got her cleaned up, I worked on soothing her and getting her back to sleep. Meanwhile, my husband began to clean up her crib. Eventually, I also fell asleep. The next morning, my husband was in a really sour mood. I asked him what was wrong, and he said he had slept horribly because of the situation from the night before. He then went on a tangent and started to accuse me of not helping enough, and he said that he was sick of being on poop duty. I reminded him of our agreement and that I do plenty of other things in regards to taking care of our daughter. We are both still on parental leave, and so it's not like he needs to be up early for work or anything. It's been a few days, but he still has an attitude anytime that I ask him to change her poopy diapers. Am I the arsehole? And now in the comments, you're the arsehole. You need to get over your issues of things being gross. You had a kid, and they will have gross moments for years. Your husband isn't always going to be around to do things that you don't want to do. I'm not sure why you had a kid if you aren't capable of all the aspects of having one. My first thought was, how did she make it through childbirth? Both of my kids pooped all the way down my chest the minute they were out and laid on me. And let's not forget all the gross stuff that your body does while trying to get the baby out. You know what? Not the arsehole. Downvote me if you want to. Let's count it up here. Your husband pressured you into having a child because he wanted one and you didn't. You agreed on the stipulation that he cleans poopy diapers because you have a physical reaction to the smell. He agreed to that, and it was his suggestion in the first place. Now that the baby is here, he's reneged. He does literally nothing else to care for the baby per your comments. You don't neglect your child, and if you are alone with her, you still clean the diaper. It's just when he's also home that you hold him to his agreement. Babies are not dogs, but let's use dogs as an example. He wants a dog, you do not want a dog at all, even though you like your friends' dogs. You find dog crap absolutely disgusting. He says he'll clean up all the dog crap if you agree to getting a dog, so you say fine. You agree the dog is cute when you get the dog, and you find you enjoy it. But you somehow end up doing 99% of the work to care for the dog, even though it's technically both of yours. Eventually, he stops cleaning up the dog crap too, and that was your hard no. Yeah, not the arsehole. People can say you're an arsehole for not taking care of your kid all they want, but you had an agreement, and you bear it if you really, really have to. One very small stipulation to having a child, and he's trying to change the terms of that agreement after he's already knocked you up and gotten a kid off you. You never would have had the child without that agreement, so this in effect is reproductive coercion. He lied to you in order to trick you into having a baby. Anyone voting you the arsehole is condoning reproductive abuse. I can't believe everyone is just glossing over the fact that he essentially effing baby-trapped you. The guy who coerced his ex into having their child when she wanted an abortion, and then got pissy when she gave up her parental rights because he thought her maternal instincts would make her stay with him and take care of the baby, comes to mind. Not nearly as extreme, but still. There was also a post a couple of months ago where a woman had a high-paying job and only agreed to have a child if her husband, who worked from home with flexible hours, did the night care. He tried to make her do all the work after the baby was born because, quote, she's the mother and it doesn't matter what I agreed to, she has to do it. He got absolutely blasted here. I honestly don't see this as any different. You had one condition to having a child and he agreed. He can't take it back now. Thank you. God, I felt like I was going crazy reading the comments. He is the one who made this arrangement. OP was happy having no poopy children to take care of. He said he'd do it if she did the other stuff. She does the other stuff, so why isn't he the asshole? Not the asshole, OP. I'd remind him that you put your body through immense pain and difficulty for his wishes. He can clean up poop for the rest of his life, and it'll never make up for childbirth. He needs to suck it up and maybe think twice about deals that he wants to make in the future. Everyone sucks here. Neither of you had any business making an agreement like that in the first place because it was never sustainable, and frankly, this is one of the less serious ways it could have backfired. That's exactly what I was thinking. Everything is all fine and good until the husband goes back to work and she is left with the baby all alone. OP, do you really think she won't poop while daddy isn't around? This is on you. You knew your stance, and yet you still agreed to have a kid on such a mindless agreement. Obviously, your husband isn't off the hook either, since he kind of pressured you into it by making a deal he couldn't keep to. This is all just a big crapstorm, pun definitely intended. You need to get your poop in a group and realize being a mother can get gross. What happens when she's a little bit older and dad's at work and she ends up sick and poops in her pants? What will you do then? Make her feel gross? Because if she sees you getting grossed out by her uncontrollable sickness, it'll make her feel gross, and that isn't okay. And now back up to the post, we have an edit. Okay, some of you have suggested that I add in a few things that I've discussed in the comments section, so here we go. In a situation where I was alone with my daughter, I absolutely would not let her sit in a soiled diaper. I would change it, obviously. It would probably involve retching and vomiting on my end, but I'm not going to have her sitting in filth for hours. If my husband is present, I 100% am going to ask him to handle anything poop-related, because that is what he assured me that he would do. I am fine handling vomit, snot, and literally everything else. The poopy diapers elicit a physical response which makes it extremely difficult for me to handle. In addition to that, I do all of her bottle cleaning and laundry. I am the one bathing and feeding her 90% of the time, and when she wakes up at night, I am usually the first to check on her. Sometimes I will wake my husband up if she has a poopy diaper. However, if he hears her crying on the baby monitor, he will not take the initiative to get out of bed and check on her unless I ask him to. And now onto the update. Hi guys, I wanted to jump on here and give you all an update. After reading through your comments, I quickly realized that my aversion to changing my daughter's poopy diapers is not normal. As I mentioned in my original post, I had always assumed that I simply have a weak stomach. I have discovered that to not be the case. A few of you suggested that I seek out therapy to get to the root of this issue. I was able to get in to see a psychiatrist who diagnosed me with having sensory process disorder coupled with coprophobia. I am a little embarrassed sharing this diagnosis, but it is what it is. My psychiatrist suspects that those things together are what result in my severe physical response to poopy diapers. To quickly summarize, I typically become extremely lightheaded, will sometimes begin to sweat, and most often will retch uncontrollably, which usually results in vomiting. I haven't been able to get in to see a therapist for regular appointments yet, but this is all in the works. So I wanted to thank those of you who politely suggested that I seek help. In addition to this, my husband and I are trying our best to work through our issues. Presently, we felt it would be best to spend a few days apart, and my parents are staying with me in the meantime. A lot of you called me a terrible mother, said I didn't deserve to have children, or that CPS should take my daughter away. I received quite a few nasty messages as well. I thought these were very disturbing comments to throw at a brand new mother, and I do want to clarify that I would never leave my daughter in a soiled diaper if I were alone with her. Thank you again to anyone who said anything kind or helpful, and I apologize that I wasn't able to respond to everyone. That's my update. And now in the comments, therapist here. Don't worry about the diagnosis. It is just a label for stuff that you are already dealing with. You were brave for seeking help. The most important thing is that you keep trying your best, which you were doing. Good luck. I like this. I always found power in finally getting a label since I have an invisible chronic illness. But even with my mental health issues, having the label helps me find the best providers for that issue. Therapists have specialties, just like medical doctors, and sometimes one type of therapy won't help, so it's good to know the different kinds to look for. I'm in my 40s and just now finding out in therapy that there are actual names and diagnoses for things I have struggled with since childhood. Panic disorder, complex PTSD, nonverbal learning disability, executive function disorder, and she suspects that I might have ADD and I will be having tests done soon. Once you know that there is an actual reason for things you are experiencing and that there isn't something wrong with you, it's so much easier to cope with. Went and read the original post and holy hell were people hard on you. Granted, I think you were both kidding yourselves thinking that you make it through the 2 to 3 years of poopy diapers without this being an issue. But you don't sound neglectful or like a bad parent. You love your daughter. Do your best to do what needs to be done and accepted an arrangement to delegate a certain task that you find physically difficult to manage. Don't let the people who are being cruel get to you. You are doing fine. Our next post is titled, Am I the asshole for not wanting my friends to post my photos on Insta? So my friend is an influencer. She has a decent following, she posts a lot of pictures with her friends. She always asks for permission. I have let her post pictures with me on her page, but the issue is that I am a brown guy. Some of her followers make derogatory comments about me. She deletes them, but I've sort of started to doom scroll and read all of them. It is a really unhealthy thing to do, and it's part of a lot of unhealthy behaviors tied to my self-esteem, which I am working on with my therapist. We went out yesterday, and we took some pictures as usual. She posted a lot of pictures, and I didn't mind her posting group photos, but I told her not to post photos of just us together. She was okay with that, but she asked me if she had done anything, and I deflected. She called me to see if things were okay between us. I tried to convince her, but she can tell when I was lying, and she could see that there is an issue here. I really don't like to talk about my self-esteem issues. I present very aloof to most things, and I do it well, so I didn't want to be vulnerable. I was a bit rude, and I told her to just leave the topic. One of my friends has been telling me that she is hurt, and she has been asking others if they know why I am mad at her. I feel bad because it is clear that I'm hurting her, but I don't feel like I have the ability to really talk about this, and if I had, it wouldn't have been a huge issue. All this drama is caused by me being screwed in the head, and I feel like an asshole for that. And now in the comments, no assholes here. 1. There is nothing wrong with your desire to not have pics posted, especially given the drama posters create over it and how it impacts your mental health, which is understandable. 2. She is asking for permission, which is great, and she also sounds like she doesn't appreciate the rude comments either. I do understand why she would be concerned. I know it's not something that you can really discuss, but could you send her a text and say, hey, I wanted to let you know that I'm not at all mad or upset with you. I have noticed that when pics of me are posted, there are some nasty comments posted by people. I know you delete them, and I know you don't condone the behavior, and it's not in your control. But their behavior is impacting my mental health, and I'm trying to take steps to keep myself healthy. No assholes here. Technically, you don't have an obligation to tell her why you don't want her to post, but every relationship and friendship is based on a certain level of communication. If you don't tell her why you're uncomfortable with her posting one-on-one shots with you, you're allowing her to imagine her own reasons, which are probably way off base. This also prevents her from addressing the issue, which she also has the platform to do so, and to be an advocate for you. I totally understand that race and gender define a lot of our experience in the world, and people who are different sometimes don't understand the impact of negative experiences. So your friend probably doesn't realize how those negative comments affect you, especially since she's deleting them hoping you probably don't see them. She sounds like she really would be a great person to talk to because she genuinely cares for you and won't allow those types of comments on her page. Also, talking about how those comments affect you don't make you weak or needy or whiny. It makes you a human, and it makes you a better friend. Because if you talk to her about them, she could address these negative comments in a more effective way because she'll be able to have more knowledge about the real-life effects that those comments can have. Obviously, you don't have any obligation to tell anyone anything, but I truly think having a conversation with her would help the both of you stop those comments and learn how to deal with them in the future. It doesn't even have to be that deep of a conversation. It could literally be, hey, I just wanted to let you know that the reason I'm uncomfortable with the one-on-one photos is because every time you post them, I see some very derogatory comments about my race and gender. I know that you delete them, and I really appreciate your support, but whenever I see that, it really hurts me. So I would prefer to avoid those just by not posting us together. I hope this helps a bit, and good luck with the true assholes in this situation, the troll commenters. And now onto the update. Every comment was pushing me to talk to her. It took some time, but I did text her that we were cool, and it was just personal stuff. We talked properly about it, and I explained that I would read all the mean comments about me and just keep looking for them. She said she understood, and she did something similar, and she had been working on it too. She said she wanted to take time away from social media too. This was such a hard conversation to have for me. Opening up is really difficult. Everyone loves that I am sort of stoic and calm in all situations. I don't want to be a burden on people I love by breaking that. I just expected it to go badly. It didn't, and I am really happy about that. And now in the comments, OP, I promise you that while you being generally chill may be a trait people mention in a list of things they like about you, that is not the thing they love about you. And true friends would never consider it a burden for you to open up to them. This friend obviously cares about you and your feelings. I hope this is the beginning of you letting your loved ones into your shell a bit, at whatever pace you are comfortable at, of course. And OP replies, it went much better than expected. I'm going to take it slow, but I'm going to work on it. As someone who also has trouble opening up about my self-esteem and shame issues, also in therapy, I feel you, dude. Opening up and pushing through how hard it is even more rewarding. You guys bonded over how the comments make you feel bad. Now you can support each other. You aren't burdening her, she knew something was wrong, and you opened up to her, and now she can see what's going on. I started pushing through to open up to my closest friends, as I thought they expected me too to be stoic and leveled. My friends told me they feel they have gotten to know me more in the past few months than the past 10 years. We are so much closer now, and I feel way more supported and less alone. Good job pushing through your insecurity, I'm proud of you. And OP replies, it is so hard, man. My dad was probably bipolar. He was really emotional and depressed most of the time, and he left us when I was 8. My mother didn't want me to be like him, and I was raised to be calm and collected. I struggle a lot with emotions because she always used to say that I shouldn't be like Dad, and I think I hated him too. So I swung hard in the other direction of not expressing my emotions at all. I feel like a failure for even wanting to express these emotions. You are not a burden on people who love you when you are open and honest with them. People who love you are there for you. Please don't buy into the toxic masculinity concept of men being strong and silent. My significant other had a cousin who bought into that message. Important part of that last sentence is had. Toxic masculinity is dangerous. Having difficult conversations is brave. I'm glad you spoke to your friend. Well, that took a bit of a grim turn at the end there, and that is a tough one to read. But anyway, as always, we do have to move on, and we do have to finish the episode there. I do hope you guys are having a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to. Thank you for listening to this episode, as always. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.